This is definitely going to go down as one of the more interesting games of the season. Kings versus Maple Leafs, take two. This time we're home at Staples Center. Ex-King Jonathan Bernier was not in net. He played last night for the Ducks, and so we have Remier or something. Please don't ask me to pronounce his name right. Another name I'm probably never going to pronounce right is the new King. It's Vincent Lecavalier or something like that. So yesterday, Dean Lombardi does his general manager magic, and he trades Jordan Wheel and a third-round draft pick for, I'm going to call him Vinny, because that's a lot easier to pronounce here, and Luke Schenn, who is a guy that knows Drew Doughty from Team Canada, and Drew Doughty had great things to say about him, and seems to really want to take this guy under his wing, even though I think they're the same age. Anyway, it's a solid boost for our blue line, and getting Lecavalier, he's a more experienced player. He has said that this is his last season in the NHL, and he wants to go out with a chance at the Stanley Cup. And this, bolstering our, center line is something that I think the Kings could really use. We had a lot of youngsters in this season, so to have someone with that experience, and I think he has won a Stanley Cup before, so to have someone with that experience, I think really rounds out our team quite nicely. And they were put to the test quite early on. They got on a plane this morning. We're in LA some mid-afternoon time. We're talking with the press around like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and at 7:30, we're on the ice playing. So that was a huge turnaround. Nobody quite expected them to be playing quite so quickly. They hadn't had a morning skate. Vinny has never even met these people really before today, except as opponents on the ice. And Schenn really only knows Drew Doughty. So it was such a Daryl Sutter move. And watching them tonight, I think they're going to fit in with the Kings system really, really well. So on to the game, where plenty of other things happened. First period was all LA Kings. At one point, we were out shooting them 13-2, and their goaltender was just standing on his head. He got the third star of the game, and he completely deserved it. He's the only reason that the Maple Leafs were even remotely in this game. He was incredible. Credit where credit's due. I really liked what he did tonight. It kind of got annoying that he was so good after a while. So first period, all LA Kings, there's some great stuff. Gaborik at one point was completely alone in the zone. There were 4 or 5 Maple Leafs with him, and he single-handedly manages to keep the puck there until everybody else can get the line change and then gets a good shot off on goal. It was a really great play. Actually, he did a couple of really good things tonight, so it was nice to see him really step up. Lucic was totally on fire tonight. He had the tough hit of the game, and it was awesome. Behind, I think it was Quick's net at the time, just totally leveled a guy to the ground. Lucic is a big guy. I wouldn't want to mess with him. And he was really showing that out on the ice tonight. Towards the end of the first period, though, things got a little scary. One of the Leafs players bordered Toffoli while he was kind of like bending down for the puck, and his head was the thing that ended up being smashed into the boards. And he took a little bit to get up, and he looked really shaky and went straight back to go get checked out. He was back at the beginning of the second period. This happened right at the end of the first. And he was fine, but it did look a little scary there for a second. So much so that Lucic gets right in on this guy and kind of starts smashing him into the boards too as a retaliation, like really sticking up for his teammate. And it was totally worth the minor that he got, because the other guy got a 5-minute major and a match penalty. The guy was out. So that created some interesting situations on the ice. There was some 4-on-4 and then like a good 3 minutes of power play there, which of course the Kings did nothing with, but it's good to know that Toffoli's okay. So we get to the second period, and there's a couple of soft penalties. Schenn gets his first penalty as an LA King. Congratulations. It's kind of a soft boarding call, whatever. Muzzin, I think, took a penalty. And then there's a Leafs player that should have gotten a penalty and didn't, and I don't know how the ref missed it, because from what I could tell, the ref is standing right next to them. There's already some penalty killing happening at the time. There was a lot of penalties that all kind of happened around the same period of time in the second period. And so Drew Doughty is trying to kill a penalty, and one of these Leafs players kind of like smashes into the boards and keeps him there. It's total interference. Doughty literally can't get up off the ground to continue to like play the puck and defend. And he's pissed, and rightfully so. The entire crowd is on their feet kind of screaming at this guy. And so as this Leaf player gets up, Doughty is kind of like, no, if I can't get up, you can't get up, and starts kind of smashing him a little bit, just kind of beating his head into the ground. He was mad, and he goes into the box, and that's basically the end of the second period. There was a lot of weirdness going on, but honestly, the Kings were a little bit lucky, actually, that they only got out of it still 0-0. Quick and Remy both are standing on their heads. Quick is phenomenal this game, doing his Jedi mind tricks again. Have I mentioned recently? Because I feel like I mention this every game. Jonathan Quick was on it, and it was great. I love seeing that. The third period begins, and Jake Muzzin scores! I take back everything I said about hating him in the second period when he took that dumbass tripping penalty that he shouldn't have taken. All is forgiven because he scores from Lecavalier and Mersch. So Lecavallier's first assist and point as a King in his first game. Congratulations. Welcome to the team. Of course, we knew when the game started that it was going to be Jake Muzzin from Lecavalier and Mersch, right? I mean, this was definitely what everyone had predicted on their score sheets, right? Yeah. Well, Mike Babcock, coach of the Maple Leafs, decides he does not like that goal, and he would like it taken away. So he takes his coach's challenge, goaltender interference, and Toronto comes back and says, no, that sucks to be you. It's a Kings goal for reals. So the Kings get to keep it, and it's awesome. But just in case, Carter gets his first goal back, first game back, and he scores, and welcome back, Carter, we missed you. So he gets the second goal of the game, and the Kings are sitting pretty, 2-0. And then we're on the penalty kill, and it just didn't work out the way you want a penalty to kill to work out. They score, and so for the next 10 minutes, it's a nail-biter. Both goalies are standing on their heads. Both of them have made outstanding saves, but none more than in the third period. Quick totally kept us in the game. About 3 minutes left, they pull their goalie, and we can't quite make that empty net shot there. But it's cool because, again, Quick standing on his head doing the splits and Jedi mind things that he does. No puck shall pass. And actually, Shen, last shift of the game, he was on the ice and makes a saving play, a game-saving play. So we get a new center, he scores his first assist, and we get a defenseman making a game-saving blocked shot. So from what I can tell, they're doing their jobs, and once they actually get into practice and start getting chemistry with the rest of the guys on the team, I think it's going to be a good addition. In Dean Lombardi, we trust.